o'clock rings and the mind flips straight into, what do I have to do today? The to-do list takes over. Meetings, phone calls, bills to pay, places to be. Get it done, check the boxes, make it to bedtime. Then repeat. It's the endless treadmill of activity, isn't it? But activity doesn't equal achievement. Movement doesn't guarantee progress. Ask a different question and the whole game changes. Not, what do I have to do today? But who do I want to become? See, a day is about tasks. A life is about transformation. A day asks for your energy. A life asks for your vision. The difference between existence and excellence, it isn't a matter of luck or circumstances. It's perspective. There's a world of difference between managing minutes and designing meaning. If all a person ever does is fill hours with tasks, life passes in a blur. The urgent chases out the important. There's always another deadline, another errand, another crisis. But have you ever noticed how, when you're clear on who you want to become, the details start to organize themselves? You move from random motion to purposeful movement. You're not just living by default, you're living by design. People often say, I'm just trying to make it through the week. I say, don't just survive the week, craft the years. The years go by anyway, don't they? Better to invest them with intention than to spend them by accident. Life doesn't answer to your list. It answers to your leadership. Take a look around. The difference between those who settle and those who soar is not talent, not background, not even opportunity. It's that some decided to become architects of their future, while others accepted whatever structure, circumstance delivered. One group shapes the day to fit the demands. The other shapes their life to fit a dream. Let me ask you, are you designing your life or are you just reacting to your days? When you wake up in the morning, does your day serve a bigger picture? Or does it simply fill the space between sunrise and sunset? If all you do is design your day, you'll find yourself excellent at getting things done, but empty when it comes to meaning. The tragedy of life is not that it ends too soon, but that we wait so long to begin it. Too many people climb the ladder of success only to discover it was leaning against the wrong wall. The ladder isn't the problem. It's the wall you choose. Decide early. Do you want to be a master of minutes or a designer of destiny? Do you want your life to be a list of completed tasks or a legacy that outlives you? That decision right there is the difference that defines success. So, if you've been feeling caught in the rush, running fast, but wondering where it all leads, step back. The power to design a life, not just a day, is within your reach. It starts with perspective, and perspective changes everything. Have you ever watched a builder at work? The first thing you'll notice, before a single brick is laid, before any concrete is poured, is a set of blueprints spread across the table. The architect doesn't arrive with just a pile of materials and hope for the best. He starts with vision, with intention, with a plan. Because every building worth living in begins as an idea carefully drawn before it's ever built. Now, life works the same way. Success isn't just about showing up every day and throwing effort at whatever needs doing. If you want to construct something lasting, you need to become the architect of your own future. Don't start with bricks. Start with blueprints. I remember years ago talking with a friend who was always busy, always exhausted, but never quite satisfied. He worked hard, no doubt about that. But when asked where it was all headed, he didn't really know. He was trying to build his life one brick at a time. hoping it would all turn into a castle. That's how you end up with a pile of bricks and no home. The mind of an architect is different. Before laying a foundation, an architect asks, what should this become? What do I want it to look like when it's finished? The blueprint isn't just a drawing. It's a declaration of intention. It says, this is what I'm building. This is why it matters. Imagination is where it begins, but not just wild, aimless imagination. Imagination guided by purpose. It's one thing to dream about a better life. It's another thing entirely to put that dream on paper, to map it out and say, here's the design. The discipline of drawing the blueprint comes before the sweat of swinging the hammer. A designed life starts with that blend of creativity and clarity. It's seeing, in your mind, a future worth living for. It's understanding that everything you do today becomes a building block in that bigger picture. The average person spends more time planning a vacation than they do planning their life. The architect's mindset flips that equation. Ask yourself, if you could build your life from the ground up, what would it look like? What kind of person do you want to become? What kind of legacy do you want to leave? Don't be afraid to think in bold colors and broad strokes. Imagination fueled by purpose is how every great achievement begins. But it's not just about grand dreams. An architect also understands the importance of detail. It's the little lines on the blueprint that guide the big structure. In the same way, it's your daily actions, your decisions, your disciplines that bring the vision into reality, one measured step at a time. Remember, nobody stumbles into a well-designed life by accident. You have to choose it, plan it, and pursue it. The builder starts with the end in mind. So should you. Before you worry about what to do next, make sure you know what you're building. Design the life first. The days will fall in line. If there's one lesson I learned early, it's this. Strategy organizes effort, but philosophy directs it. Most people get busy working on their strategy, figuring out the next step, the next deal, the next move, without ever stopping to ask, what is my philosophy? The world is full of activity, but not all activity leads to accomplishment. Without a guiding philosophy, even the hardest work can become a treadmill. Lots of motion, not much progress. Let me illustrate. You can be the best planner in the world, but if your philosophy is off, your strategy will only take you in circles. I once met a man with a wall covered in calendars, schedules packed from dawn to dusk, always hustling. But after years of effort, he found himself no closer to the life he wanted. Why? His activity was well organized, but his direction was missing. He'd spent years perfecting his strategy for climbing, but never paused to ask if he was climbing the right mountain. See, philosophy is where you decide the kind of person you want to be before you ever decide what to do. It's the foundation underneath every choice, every habit, every plan. It's your philosophy that whispers in your ear when no one else is watching. It shapes your attitude, your ethics, your ambitions. People often chase tactics, quick tricks, the latest trends, hoping for an edge. But tactics come and go. Philosophy endures. What is your view of the world? Do you believe that effort matters? That honesty counts? That growth is possible? If you believe the future is shaped by your choices, then every strategy you build will serve a higher aim. But if your philosophy is just to get by, every strategy will shrink to fit that vision. One of the best gifts you can give yourself is the time to reflect on your own philosophy. What do you stand for? What do you value? If you want to design a life of meaning, first decide what meaning means to you. Don't just ask, what should I do today? Ask, what kind of person am I becoming by doing it? The answer to that question will point you toward a strategy that is worthy of your potential. Without philosophy, you risk becoming efficient at things that do not matter. You can win the rat race and still end up a rat. Success is not just a matter of doing things right. It's a matter of doing the right things. If you want your strategy to serve you, first shape your philosophy. Stand guard at the door of your mind. Decide what ideas you'll let in and which ones you'll turn away. Because in the end, your philosophy sets the boundaries of your success. It's the compass that keeps you headed in the right direction, long after the excitement of a new goal fades. So before you pour your energy into the next big plan, take a step back and look inward. Ask yourself, who am I becoming by living this way? What do I truly believe about work, about relationships, about life? Because strategy without philosophy is like speed without direction. You might arrive quickly, but where will you end up? Decide the kind of person you want to be before you decide what to do. Everything good flows from that. Let's talk about vision. If you're going to design a life, not just survive a schedule, not just cross off another to-do list, but truly build something that matters, you start with vision. It's the master plan, the artist's rendering, the big picture that brings your future into focus before you ever set foot on the path. Vision is not a wish or a vague hope. It's a clear picture of the future that excites you, something that makes you sit up a little straighter and draws out your best effort. Vision is what gets you up early and keeps you up late. It's the magnet that pulls you through the challenges and disappointments because you know where you're headed. Ask anyone who's achieved something remarkable, and you'll discover they saw it long before they lived it. I remember times in my own life sitting quietly with a notebook, asking, what do I really want? Not just what others expect, not what's safe, but what would genuinely thrill the heart and satisfy the soul. Because if you don't design your own vision, someone else will gladly sell you theirs. Vision is powerful because it determines your values. When you can see the destination, you start to notice which roads will take you there and which ones won't. Vision is the filter that clarifies decision-making. Suddenly, it's not so hard to say no to distractions or to walk away from opportunities that don't fit. A clear vision draws a boundary line between what belongs and what doesn't. From vision flows values, and from values, decisions. I learned this lesson the hard way in business. Early on, I chased every shiny object, every deal that promised quick returns. But the moment my vision got clear, when I knew the life I wanted to build and the kind of person I wanted to become, my decisions snapped into focus. The confusion faded. Each choice was measured against the blueprint. A clear vision today saves confusion tomorrow. Without it, you can spend years moving fast, working hard, and still end up miles from where you hope to be. But when you start with the end in mind, when you've painted the master plan in bold colors, every day becomes a building block, not just another brick in the wall. Vision also gives you resilience. When setbacks come, and they will, it's the picture in your mind that keeps you going. When you can see it, you can stand it. You endure the storms because you know what you're building is worth it. Vision gives pain a purpose. So, take time to get clear. Don't rush this part. Sit quietly, let your mind wander, and ask, what does the good life look like for me? See it in detail. Your health, your relationships, your work, your contribution. When that vision excites you, when it makes you a little nervous, you know you're on the right track. Remember, the master plan is not set in stone. It can evolve as you grow, but you need that initial sketch on the canvas. The clearer the vision, the easier it is to know what belongs and what doesn't. When you design life with vision, You become the architect of your days. You no longer just respond to the world. You invite the world to respond to you. Now, once the vision is clear, once you have that master plan sketched out in your mind, it's time to get practical. How do you turn that exciting future from imagination into reality? This is where goals come in. Goals are the building blocks of your life's design. They are the beams and the bricks, the framework that gives structure to what you see in your mind. A vision without goals is like a blueprint with no materials. It's a beautiful dream, but you can't live in it. But the moment you turn vision into goals, you give it a backbone. Goals are the proof that you intend to make the vision real. It's easy to talk about what you want. It's more powerful to show it with clear, concrete targets. I've seen it over and over. The people who achieve the most are not always the most talented or the most connected. They are the ones who write things down. They put their goals on paper. They know exactly what they're working toward. You can feel the difference in their energy. There's no guessing, no wandering. They wake up with direction, with a sense of purpose. Think of each goal as a beam in the framework of your life. Every goal supports the larger structure. Some are big, build a thriving business, strengthen a marriage, master a skill. Some are small, read a book, save a little extra, make a call. Everyone matters because everyone turns the invisible into something you can measure and celebrate. The magic of a goal is not just in reaching it, but in what it does to you along the way. Goals stretch you. They require growth. If you set a goal that feels easy, it's probably not worthy of your vision. Make your goals big enough to inspire you and specific enough to guide you. Don't just say, I want to be healthy. Write down, I want to walk a mile every day, or I want to lose 10 pounds by September. The more measurable, the more powerful. And don't underestimate the confidence that comes from progress. Each time you achieve a goal, no matter how small, you prove to yourself that you can shape your future. You build the muscle of discipline. You learn the joy of completion. One completed goal is worth 100 wishes. Now, some people worry about setting goals because they fear falling short. Let me remind you, missing a goal is not failure. It's feedback. It's a chance to adjust, to refine, to recommit. The real failure is not to set goals at all. Without goals, the days slip by, and you're left wondering where the years went. So if you want to build a life of design and not just drift, get in the habit of goal setting. Break your vision down into parts you can pursue. Write them down, review them often, and celebrate every step forward. Your vision is the master plan. Goals are the building blocks. With both in place, you have the foundation for a life that is not just busy, but significant. So you've got your vision and you've got your goals. That's the blueprint, and that's the framework. But nothing gets built without a crew. In the architecture of your life, habits are the construction crew. They're the ones on the job every day, laying the bricks, driving the nails, making sure that what you designed on paper rises up in the real world. It's easy to get excited about a new goal, isn't it? Inspiration fills the air, energy runs high. But inspiration fades. What remains, what truly matters, are the habits you put in place. Discipline is the great builder. Discipline turns blueprints into walls and walls into homes. It's the little actions repeated over time that create the life you envisioned. Think about it. Every habit is a brick. Each morning routine, each healthy choice, each conversation you invest in, each book you read, these are the daily actions that accumulate and compound. Some people look for dramatic change, but real transformation comes from consistent effort. The right habits over weeks and months and years will construct a life you're proud to call your own. I remember times when I wanted to change everything overnight. But the truth is, big change is almost always the result of small disciplines, practice day in and day out. You don't need to overhaul your life in a weekend. You just need to make the next right choice, and then the next. Eventually, those choices stack up until the picture in your mind matches the world around you. Habits are powerful because they don't rely on constant motivation. Once a habit is in place, it takes over for you. It's the construction crew that shows up whether you feel like it or not. Willpower may get you started, but habit keeps you going. When your habits align with your goals, progress becomes automatic. Be honest with yourself. What habits are running your life right now? Are they building your vision, or are they chipping away at it? Because every habit is either working for you or against you. The key is to set up routines that serve your design. If you want a healthy life, build in healthy habits. If you want better relationships, practice habits of gratitude, communication, and kindness. If you want financial strength, create habits of saving, investing, and wise spending. Never underestimate the compounding effect of small improvements. 1% better every day doesn't sound like much, but over time it transforms everything. The construction crew may be slow, but it's steady. That's what gets the house built. And remember, the greatest habit of all is the habit of reviewing your habits. Every so often, step back and ask, is my crew building what I designed? Are my daily disciplines serving the future I want? If not, make adjustments. Hire some new habits. Retire the ones that aren't getting the job done. Your life will be built brick by brick, habit by habit. Choose your crew wisely. Let's talk about the foundation now. Every strong building starts with a solid foundation. And in the architecture of your life, that foundation is your schedule. Time is the great equalizer. Everybody gets 24 hours a day. The question is not, do you have enough time? But rather, what are you building with the time you've got? Your schedule is the canvas where you paint your design. It's where someday becomes today. I've seen it over and over. People with big dreams and well-defined goals, but nothing ever seems to move from their heads to their hands. Why? Because what you put in your calendar reveals what kind of life you're constructing. If it doesn't get scheduled, it doesn't get done. There's a difference between intention and implementation. Most people intend to read more, exercise more, make more calls, or spend more time with family. But intention lives in your mind. Implementation lives in your schedule. The life you want will never be built on wishful thinking. It will be built on daily commitments. I've met so many people who wait for the perfect time, the stars to align, the mood to strike, the pressure to ease up. But let me tell you, the perfect time rarely comes. The schedule is what moves your dreams off the one-day list and onto the done list. It's the bridge between vision and reality. Every time you put a priority on the calendar, you declare, this matters. And every time you neglect to schedule it, you risk leaving it to chance. Time is always in motion. If you don't give your days structure, the world will gladly fill them for you. Suddenly, someone else's urgency replaces your own priorities. But when you become the master of your schedule, you start constructing your life on purpose, not by accident. I remember the first time I started keeping a real calendar, not just for appointments, but for personal growth, relationship time, exercise, and reflection. The change was dramatic. I stopped drifting. I started directing. The schedule gave shape to my days, and my days started building the life I imagined. Be careful, though. A full calendar isn't always a productive calendar. Busy does not equal effective. Fill your schedule with the activities that serve your vision. not just the activities that fill your hours. Protect time for what truly matters: your health, your learning, your most important relationships. So, take a look at your schedule. Does it reflect the life you want to build? Does it move you closer to your vision, or just keep you busy? You can always tell what someone values by what makes it onto their calendar. If you want to design a life and not just a day, use your schedule as the foundation. Build it wisely, and it will support you through every season. No design survives reality unchanged. You can lay out the finest blueprints, craft your vision, set your goals, and fill your schedule with all the right things. But life has a way of introducing its own set of changes, doesn't it? That's why one of the most important skills in designing a life is learning to make course corrections. Sometimes we get so caught up in our routines, so married to our plans that we forget the value of stepping back. Every architect steps away from the building site now and then. He walks around, checks the angles, measures the progress, and makes adjustments. It's not about abandoning the plan. It's about refining it. Growth requires refinement, not rigidity. Life is unpredictable. Markets change, people move, health shifts, opportunities appear or disappear. The ability to evaluate, adapt, and adjust is not a weakness. It's a sign of wisdom. If you insist on sticking to your original plan, no matter what, you might end up with a house that's beautiful on paper, but unlivable in reality. I've seen it happen in my own life. There were times when a strategy that worked for years suddenly became obsolete. The world changed, and I had to change with it. Sometimes it was a small tweak. Sometimes it meant reimagining the whole structure. The point is, progress is not a straight line. Success belongs to those who are willing to make adjustments without losing sight of the vision.